Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today I'm super excited to share this fun new card featuring products from Simon Says Stamp and this adorable duck trio of dies. So if you've been here for a while, you may know that I am a huge die cutting fan, and if you're brand new, welcome. And yes, I am a die cut fan. I have loved die cuts in all forms for years and years, and I of course love stamping too. And I especially love creating cards made out of die cuts. So here are some of the newest products from You Are My Favorite release, the April 2025 release from Simon Says Stamp, and we are going to start creating our card today. This is a quick and easy card design, and you could really achieve the same look with mini dies from your stash. So if you have other favorite critter or image dies, or even stamps or stamped and die cut images, you could create a very similar effect. We're basically going to have 2 rows of imagery and then a sentiment in between, and embellish with these sweet tiny flowers. So what I did first was take the Hopping Hexagons embossing folder, and emboss a 4 by 5¼ inch background out of this Lawn Fawn Mermaid cardstock. Audrey Blue from Simon Says Stamp would be a nice comparison cardstock color. Then I have pre-die cut the components from the duck trio and laid them out. But before we do that, let's go ahead and stamp our greetings. Our greetings today are coming from another new product from the release, the With Thanks stamp set. I'm going to stamp the thank you and I appreciate you phrases on some Nina 110-pound weight smooth white cardstock using the Nocturne ink from Simon Says Stamp, and then die cut the thank you with the coordinating with thanks die, and die cut I appreciate you with a sentiment strip die. You could also use your paper trimmer if you don't have a sentiment strip stamp set. Next, we are going to start adding shading to our ducks. For the ducks themselves, they die cut with the body portion, and then the head layering portion for like the beak and the feet is a separate die. I've die cut the ducks themselves from some Nina 110-pound weight smooth white cardstock, and I've die cut the rest of the duck, the layering piece if you will, from some Creamsicle Simon Says Stamp cardstock. On the Creamsicle, I am taking some nutmeg ink and detail blending brushes and adding a touch of shading. This is going to instantly add some interest to my ducks. I'm also going to take some pink pastel with another small blending brush, and I'm going to add some pink cheeks. To the body of my ducks, I am going to take some flannel Simon Says Stamp positively saturated ink, and again, same detail blending brushes so I can really control where that color goes, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that color to areas of my ducks, just like this. It is going to be very subtle, but it's going to help with the stark white of my ducks. We're going to continue this for all 6 of these ducks. There's 3 different styles, and I've die cut each twice. This is just going to give me 2 fun rows of my little ducklings here that are ducks that I can add to my card. And I'm going to assemble all of them exactly the same. They're very easy to line up. Now, the only thing about my ducks is they look a little scary right now because they have orange eyes. I did not add a separate color or anything back behind the eye portion because I am planning on taking a black pen and coloring in the eye. Originally, I thought that I might take a black gem and use it for the eye, but when I placed it over my die cut, I really didn't love how it looked. I felt like it was a little harsh. It took away from the sweet, cute feel of these ducks' faces. And so ultimately, I decided that I am going to just color in the eye with my black pen, and that worked out great. Another suggestion, if you would take a black pen, black marker, black ink, and add that to the head of your layering piece before you add the color. let's say you could do it on the orange cardstock, absolutely. But let's say you've die cut all the pieces from white and you are completely adding color with markers, watercolor, inks like I'm doing here, etc. You could always color the backer portion behind the eye on the head with your black pen first, or black marker first, and that is going to then show through the opening on the duck's face. So just a little note about that. Okay, I went ahead and inked up all of my ducks, and I noticed, I forgot to add the little soft pink for the cheek. So holding my blending brush straight up and down, I'm going to add a little bit of that color to each of my ducks' cheeks. Now, as I was looking at this and deciding on where to glue down my sentiments, I decided that I want my thank you to be popped up a little bit. But I did not feel like trying to piece together teeny tiny pieces of foam tape back behind the word thank you. So instead, I am going to stack my die cuts one on top of another, just like this, and then I'm going to top it with my die cut thank you. I did die cut the rest of those thank you greetings from that With Thanks die set, from that same aqua cardstock that I used for the background. This means that from the side, you're seeing aqua and all you're seeing popped up is the white. I thought it looked really cute. Then I'm going to adhere that right to the center of my card, place some foam on the back of the phrase, I appreciate you, and pop that right above the word or the phrase, thank you. Next, it's time to start adding our ducks to our card. In this case, I really felt like my ducks needed to be popped up just a little bit to help distinguish from that, I want to say busy background, although I don't feel that embossed backgrounds are extremely busy for the most part, especially if it's just embossed, you haven't colored it in or stenciled or anything like that. In this case, it simply adds interest and texture without overpowering, but I still like for my images to be popped up just a little bit. Again, if you have been here for a while, you know I love my foam tape. So it is just one of those things that I cannot do without in my crafty stash. I am going to back my images with these foam squares from Simon Says Stamp and place them right where they go. These are actually the regular foam adhesive squares, not the thin ones. My preference is generally for the standard height foam squares. I still don't think they're that super high, although I do love the thin ones as well, but I do find myself using these most of the time. So we are going to pop all these up. You'll notice that I'm not placing any foam or trying to figure out how to get foam on those legs. I think they're going to be just fine as they are. Then once I am happy with the duck placement, we are going to add some cute little blooms tucked around each of our ducklings. This is one of my favorite I'm going to call it an underrated product, even if I don't know if it's underrated or not, but it's these sweet tiny flowers. That is the name of this die set. I don't know about you guys, but I am always needing teeny tiny flowers for projects. I feel like we can find a big flower, a focal point flower all of the time, but sometimes a project or a scene card, something that I'm passionate about creating, needs teeny tiny blooms, teeny tiny flowers, and they can be a little bit of a struggle. I find myself using the same like 2 sets over and over and over because I need those all the time for those kinds of cards, for this kind of card that we're creating today. So this is one of those die sets that I think is a great addition to your crafty stash. If you like to be able to create some little teeny tiny flowers, complete little scenes, whatever it may be, pick up this sweet tiny flowers. You are going to love it. So I have die cut this from multiple shades of cardstock colors. I believe everything, I want to look at it. I think all of the colors are Simon Says Stamp. We've got honey, princess, lavender, honey, and green leaf. These are the cardstock colors I used for my flowers. And again, I absolutely love them. I chose not to try to add any shading to them today. They are pretty tiny, and I just really didn't feel like this particular card needed it. You could also die cut all of these from white cardstock and completely add your own shading and color to those with blending brushes in your favorite colors of Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop the rest of my little ducks along the bottom row here, just like this. This is one of my favorite go-to styles of cards where it kind of has rows. Sometimes it's 2, like today, sometimes it's 3, and I love the text in between. It kind of separates those 2 rows, but still gives you this all over beautiful look, and it's a really nice impact. We're going to go ahead and glue down the rest of our little flowers. In a couple of areas, I grouped together my flowers. We're also going to be using some of the new flat back sequins from Simon Says Stamp in the color, oh, what is the yellow color called, you guys? I think it's Duckling. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect for what we're doing here today. There's also a beautiful light purple in this release. So we are going to go ahead and pop this down. And we have just a couple more flowers. Now I did decide to use the individual leaves from the Sweet Tiny Flowers and a couple of additional blooms to kind of help frame up the word thank you. So you're going to see me add those here in just a minute to either end of that word. And I do like that little extra touch of fun and color that those provide. Some of the smallest flatback sequins from the Duckling mix, embellishment mix, are going to be added to the centers of some of the flowers, not all of them. Another good option is the Simon Says Stamp Positively Dazzling gems. I love these gems for adding just a little touch of sparkle, even though I chose not to use them in today's card. And we'll add maybe just one little leaf over here and one additional flower. I'm going to slightly tuck this flower underneath. I am going to end up with lots of extra florals here. And fun fact, I actually used a lot of these on some other cards that either is or will be going up on my channel. It's some rainbow monogram cards, and if that video is already posted, I will make sure and link that at the end of this video so you can see some more ideas with this die set. Taking a black fine tip detail pen, I am going to go ahead and go into the eyes and color them in. I noticed I forgot to pop out a couple of these, so I may try to do that. I'm going to try to poke these out. If not, I'll just color over this last one. I don't want to ruin my duckling. Yep, I decided to color right over the top of it. There we go. And now look how sweet their little faces look. Next, I am going to take some glue. I like to use liquid glue, especially for something with this much texture like the hopping hexagons. And I am going to, glue this right to my card base. I am using an A2 card base here, and I completely messed up that extra piece of paper. I cannot believe I did this, but real life, and sometimes that happens. So let me just clean up my gluey mess. And maybe I should just be glad that I didn't mess up my card. Now, because this background has so much texture to it, and I work on a glass mat, I love these Glassboard Studio glass mats. I'm going to go ahead and use my magnets to help hold my background in place while that glue dries. Then I'm going to take some triangle trays from Simon Says Stamp, dump out some of my Duckling embellishment mix, and add those few additional sequins to this card. This card was created literally in about 30 minutes. One of the quickest, easiest, but yet most fun cards, I think, to make. Very, very cute. And just because we're not adding tons and tons of ink blending or coloring, and it really is mostly die cutting, assembling, and adding those few details, this was a card, or is a card, that can be put together really quickly. Maybe you have some other cute little critter dies at home that you could create something similar. Try it out, see what you think, and I hope you enjoy creating a card like this with rows of cute critters or imagery with text in between. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this sweet duck trio card featuring Simon Says stamps, dies, pattern paper, embellishments, all of that good stuff. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.